We're getting out early today. We're gonna try to wrap this house up. You can see we got a little bit of siding up at the top to do, and this peak, and then the house is gonna be done with the siding. So we're gonna take you guys along with us today while we get this house done. So this is pretty exciting. We've gotten done all the way around the house above the windows, and those are the tricky cuts. Now we get to start doing this end gable, and that's going to be actually pretty easy. It looks complicated, but it's pretty easy. We're getting near the end. It's feeling really good. Now I'm going to show you guys how I figure out my angle cut. I know a lot of people struggle with these, I do too. So what I do is, I first start with a straight edge like this. If I didn't have this, I would just draw a line on the house. And then I mark it out in 12-inch increments. So here I have a mark, here I have a mark, and over here I actually put a mark. So I know that these marks are every 12 inches. What I'm trying to determine is my rise of the roof, because that's going to tell me my angle. So then I just try to hold the tape measure as straight up and down as I can, and I measure from the top of my line to this roof edge, and I'm right around 5 5/8 inches. And then I move over a foot and I measure it, and that's right about 8 1/2 inches. So that tells me that in 12 inches this raises actually 2 7/8. I always say we have a 3/12 pitch. This should be a 3/12 pitch roof, but it's actually a 2 7/8 inch and 12 pitch. Basically, it rises 2 7/8 inches in every foot. Yeah, so basically just by measuring here, measuring here, measuring here, it helps to do a few different spots. I've seen that every foot, my measurement raises 2 7/8 inches, 7/8? 7/8? And that's all I need to know to figure out these angles when I'm cutting the boards. I'll show you that next. So I just drew a line for the length of my board that I need. And that's just going to be my guideline right now. And I'm going to do the same thing on the board. I'm going to come out a foot, mark a line, maybe even come out 2 feet. I don't need to do 2 feet, I just like to for extra security. So this will be the end of my board. I come out a foot, I'm going to make another line, just a guideline. I'll do this one for fun. So since I know that the roof rises 2 7/8 inches for every foot, I'm starting at my 0 mark over here. I'm coming up 2 7/8. Right there. That's literally all I need to do. And I'll mark this one just for fun, but it's going to be 5 3/4.
And that's 2 7/8 plus 2 7/8.
Yep.
And now you just connect them.
Let me get a straight edge. Yep, so I just take my straight edge, I put it at my 0, I put it at my mark here. You can see it lines up with that one too. And that's it.
And there's our angle.
So you really only need to know how much it goes up in a foot, and then you basically carry your line on like that. Now I just want to point out that this is working for me. We got a very low, shallow pitch roof, so I can do every foot. If you had a bigger slope, it's going to be hard to measure a foot because you'd already be off your board going up. It doesn't have to be a foot. You can measure every 3 inches, you can measure every 6 inches. The point is to figure out how much rise there is in a set measurement.
Yeah.
So if I did every 6 inches, all I have to do is measure the rise of my house every 6, transfer it to my board. So the foot is not important. That's my point.
Yeah.
So you can see that method works pretty good. Nice even crack. And it's very consistent, easy to do. You don't have to think too hard. So works for us. I'll show you guys the angle cuts one more time. So we know we need 135 inches. I'm going to cut that first. I'll mark that first. This is how long the space is. Now I'm just going to measure out 12 inches from that line. Yep. So there's my 12 inches. Make another line. And then I'm measuring up from the bottom. And I know my rise is 2 7/8. So every board gets marked like that. And then we just mark it from the 0 point, the bottom of the point, to that mark. I'm carrying it right through. And that's my cut. So, this is actually a double cut because we're going to span the full length of the gable. So again, 12 inches in, 2 7/8. This is actually a pretty good method of doing it, because if you have a roof like ours where it's kind of an odd measurement, it's not quite 3 12, this gets you pretty accurate. That's it.
Perfect here.
Well, here it is, guys. The last piece, actually the last two pieces. What I'm doing is putting this little spacer in that last opening right above the siding, and then this one goes over it. And I'm just doing that so when I nail this down, it doesn't like fling outward and leave a gap. It'll make it land nice and flat on the house. But the last piece, besides some trim, we gotta tidy up the top boards on the sides of the house. But big progress. I can't believe it's almost done. So now we're down to the last few pieces of trim work, and that's around the top of the house. Everything else is done. But now we're left with a little gap above the top board. What we're gonna do is fill that in with some extra siding pieces. We want to put these little backer strips in that slot up there just so that when we nail the other siding on, it doesn't...
Because we're using such a short piece.
Yeah, it'll kick back too far. This will make it all nice and flat on the house. It'll make sense. So this isn't the trim, this is just a spacer. Alright guys, we're almost done. I'm just finishing up the final details. I need to fill in under the door here. And you can see I've been working up here. To fill this in, I trimmed the top piece across here. Added this big block, and I also closed up the soffit right here so nothing can get into the attic. And this block is actually for this clamp, which has to be slid up after I paint it. and it'll cover up that big screw and everything. But it's just blocking to get it out to support the chimney. You can see back at the back door, we got a fill-in down here as well. But I already trimmed at the top of this right here. And that's just to finish that little area off. So I got these two big 12-inch boards cut for the front and back door. I just wanted it to be a solid piece under there. We got some color matched white paint. I better start in the back. I'm just painting the bottom. Anything that'll be exposed. So that's all we're going to show you for now on the house, because we want to surprise you guys with the big reveal. I mean, you saw what it looks like, but what we want to do is fill the cracks. We're working on that now, doing all the caulk in the butt joints and along the trim.
And painting the nail heads. And
we're going to get it all clean and pretty, and then we're going to do a big reveal in another video. Just be easier that way. So now we're just out here hanging out with Maverick in the berry patch. He likes to come out here every day to pick berries, and it's blackberries, some kind of blackberries. And he just eats and eats and loves them.
And eat them up.
Yep. You want to show me?
Okay.
And now I just want to say also that we really appreciate everybody's comments from the last video where we asked you your opinion on our barn. We had an idea of what we wanted to do, but all the comments really made us rethink everything about paint colors, and I'll leave it at that. We still have a lot of work to do on the house, believe it or not. It doesn't seem like it, but it's going to take a little while. Building the porches and all that stuff. Oh yeah, we get that question a lot. I thought I answered it, but we're building small landings.
with steps.
Not decks. We don't want decks by the house for a couple of reasons. One, rain hits them, it splashes against the house, ruins the siding. Also, snow piles up on them, and it's just a big hassle to shovel it off, and it gets and
the decks that were there caused problems.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that again.
So for now, we're doing small landings that are manageable with a little roof overhead. So that'll be coming soon. I'll just say ahead of time, I'm just going to make them floating. They're going to sit on the ground. They're going to be kind of temporary, movable things. They're going to be nice and practical, but not permanent. That way, in the future, it could be changed out easily. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the barn. In fact, check this out. You can see we picked up some supplies for some more projects coming up. And we got 4 big containers of the roof coating. This is what we actually chose for our barn roof. Ugh. It's a fibered aluminum roof coating. And the reason we went with this over some of the other options, which I really like the other options better, but this one stops rust on metal roofs and requires very minimal prep work. In fact, some people put it right over the rust, no primer or anything. And we'll probably do that too, just because we want to keep this simple. We're not looking to make a big ordeal about it. We just want to get it done. So we got that, we got some concrete, we got this. That's going to be exciting. All kinds of stuff happening. I also got this. I know, I probably didn't need this, but I've been wanting another one. Made in the USA. Very cool. A little bit bigger than my other one. So somehow we managed to have like 20, I think we have 25 full pieces left over from the siding job. So I overestimated the amount I would need. I was very careful with waste, and I just made a really good use of the materials. So that's a lot of siding. That's probably $200 worth. So I really want to try to find a use for that because I was told that I cannot return it. They told me that when I ordered it. All I had left over after the whole job was done was a couple of cut-offs. You see maybe a few pieces here. We got a couple of angle cut-offs here. And I don't know if you can see it, but right here, a stack of little tiny pieces. That's literally all that was left. So we made really good use of the material.
You don't, what do you weigh, 150?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100, so that'd be 250.
Stop fidgeting.
You could picture a 250 pounder getting in here, right?
You stay still.
Well guys, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. The project will be revealed soon. We're gonna show you the full final house when we're all done with it. I just want to say quick thank you to everybody who's been watching, following along, commenting. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you to the new members, for our members, YouTube members, memberships.
Yeah.
Everybody who's become a member in the last month, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I want to thank Kent for the Craig square cut. That's that little blue tool that I've been using to cut the siding straight. That was a gift that we got a little while back, and I haven't put it to good use until this siding job, and I just used it non-stop. It was perfect.
It worked better than the metal speed square.
Yeah, I was able to make nice straight cuts with my circular saw, so we really appreciate that. Came in super handy. Also, thank you to 12 Acre Homestead. That is actually where we learned about the LP Smartside. It's a channel, they do homesteading, animals, and they've been working on their house for some time after a tragic accident some time back.
House fire.
Yeah. And they pulled themselves out of that and have been doing a lot of work to get back on track, and the house is looking beautiful. It slowed down, but they were doing the LP Smartside, and we saw that, and we thought it was so cool. Hadn't seen it.
Yeah, we were watching each video, how they were progressing around their big house.
So thank you to 12 Acre Homestead for the idea of doing the Smartside.
Yeah, we love it.
So yeah, thank you to everybody, and we'll be back with another video soon. So until next time, take care.
Bye.